We admire young love, but how young is all right? She was just 13 when they had sex and not much older when they got married with her mother's permission. But this story's made headlines because of what happened next.
The young man involved was arrested for having sex with a minor, the girl who became his wife. He did break the law, but should he be punished after she said, "I do," and gave birth to their child? Don Daler with a controversial case of forbidden love.
I'm terrified about what's going to happen to me, but I just don't want to lose my wife and my daughter in the end.
When grown men are choosing to have sex with preteen girls, they're breaking the law. And when preteen girls are choosing to have sex with grown men, it's a mistake.
What he's doing is ruining my life. He's not saving me. Saving me, he would have left me alone.
That kind of tickles a little bit.
Oh, right.
Her name is Crystal. His name is Matt. They've been together as a couple for 2 years. Last May, they got married, and just a few weeks ago, Crystal gave birth to a beautiful baby girl named Samara.
Not left-footed.
The Cosos are a picture of happiness, except for one big problem. Crystal is 14. Matt is 22, and the state of Nebraska where they live says their romance is, in fact, statutory rape.
Anytime a grown man has sex with a child and we know about it, we're going to prosecute.
Nebraska Attorney General John Brunig has indicted Matt for first-degree sexual assault.
We need to protect our kids. We as adults make choices for them. Choices like telling them you can't drink and you can't drive and you can't have sex with a grown man.
To fully understand the controversy, you have to go back to the beginning. Matt was 16 when he first met the 8-year-old sister of one of his friends. He liked Crystal immediately.
She was having a bad day one time, and she just said, "Oh, I'm upset." I was like, "Well, I can do some voices for you, see if I can get you to smile," and I got her to smile pretty big, so kind of brightened her day a little bit.
What were the voices?
I know how to do Elmo.
Elmo.
Mm-hmm.
Do them for me.
This is Elmo. Elmo like to be tickled.
Does it still work for you, Crystal?
Unfortunately.
The childhood friendship gradually turned into something more. They both say the age difference wasn't an issue.
I hung out with people that were below my own age group because I never really got along with people my own age.
By the time she was 13 and he was 21, their relationship was no longer a secret. Peggy Coso is Matt's mother.
What about when you found out that Crystal was so much younger?
We told him she's only 13 years old. You know, this is not the right thing to be doing.
Crystal's mother tried to break up the couple by taking out a protective order against Matt, legally forbidding him to see her daughter. It was largely ignored by the couple and never enforced by local police or any state agency, despite the fact that Crystal wasn't the first much younger girl that Matt had dated.
When I'd have relationships with the girls that were the same age or a little bit older, they'd never work out.
But you have dated girls who were much younger than you before you met Crystal.
Had relationships with them, just best friendships basically is all it was.
Not romantic?
No. No, never romantic. You're going to merry-go-round, I'm going to push you. I'm going to push you.
But Matt's relationship with Crystal did become romantic. And like a Midwest version of Romeo and Juliet, their forbidden romance set in motion a chain of events that would soon spiral out of control.
We were just talking. She kissed me. I'd kiss her back. Just one of those things that happens when one thing leads to another.
Crystal, when this was going on, did you know what was happening? Did you know where this was leading?
Mm-hmm.
You knew you were going to have sex with him?
I guess. I don't know.
And I'm assuming that was your first time?
No.
It wasn't your first time to have sex?
No.
Was Matt your first boyfriend?
No. Matt would probably be my 7th or 8th boyfriend.
Matt was now clearly breaking the statutory rape laws of Nebraska, which forbid an adult 19 and older from having sex with a minor under the age of 16. But things would soon become much more complicated when they learned Crystal was pregnant.
What did you think? How did you react to that?
I probably spent the whole day either in bed, on the couch, or in my recliner crying. I didn't know what we were going to do.
And what did you decide?
We decided that for Crystal and Matt, the best thing to do would be to get married.
Crystal's mother agreed, but in the state of Nebraska, it's illegal for a 14-year-old to marry. So the couple drove to Kansas, where girls of any age can wed with parental consent. And on May 3rd, Matt and Crystal became man and wife.
Okay, I'll stand right here.
Thinking their relationship was now sanctioned by law, they moved into the basement of his mother's home in Falls City, where they set up house with his collection of hundreds of Hot Wheel cars and her love notes written in crayon tacked to the wall. As they waited for the birth of their baby, news of the marriage reached Attorney General Bruning.
Kansas accepts them as being legally married, and therefore the United States accepts them as being legally married. Why prosecute? Why continue with the case?
When somebody has sex with a 12-year-old who's a grown man, you can't suddenly try to fix it by saying, let's go get a piece of paper.
You see this as a loophole. You see this as a way of protecting himself.
Absolutely. This was an opportunity for him to cover his rear end.
2.5 weeks ago, on August 30th, Matt Koso was formally charged with sexual assault. He pleaded not guilty and is free on $5,000 bond.
Good girl, sweetheart.
His baby, Samara, was barely 1 week old. The Attorney General says Samara is the proof that Matt committed a crime.
So you've got a baby daughter now.
Mm-hmm.
When she's 11, 12, 13, and some man, 20, 21, 22, tries to seduce her, wants to spend time with her, how would you feel about that?
I'm going to protect my daughter.
Against someone like you?
I can't say against guys like me because I'm not a pedophile. I mean, I'm not. I'll tell you that now, and I'll tell you that later. I'm not a pedophile.
So what is the age of acceptability then for a girl to have sex with someone your age? Is it 13?
That, to a certain extent, would be their own decision.
Where do you get off charging someone with a crime even though their actions are legal?
Matt's case has sparked an outcry all over the state of Nebraska and around the country.
You've gotten a number of letters. The vast majority of them say, leave him alone. They got married. He's trying to make it right.
I know. They've called me a homewrecker. They've said that all you're doing is destroying this family. But there are consequences for crimes. Matt Koso committed a crime. He's going to have to suffer the consequences.
Today, Matt and Crystal's lives are in limbo. Their futures are uncertain as they await the beginning of his trial, now scheduled for November.
How is this going to end?
I'm just hoping for probation, so that way I can provide for my family. One thing's for dang sure, I'm gonna be the best father I can be. And I ain't gonna treat my little girl badly. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna grow up and just, give her all I can give.
Crystal, what do you want to happen?
I just want to wake up tomorrow morning and it's all been gone. What Bruni doesn't know, I grew up without a father. I don't even know my father. I know his name. I've seen him in pictures. That's all I know. I don't want my daughter growing up like that.
But for John Bruning, the man who intends to prosecute the case, Matt and Crystal are far from Shakespeare's star-crossed lovers.
I don't see him as Romeo and Juliet. This isn't about romance. This is about a grown man having sex with a little girl.
And of course, Romeo and Juliet didn't exactly have a happy ending.
They didn't. And unfortunately, this isn't going to be a happy ending either.
Because of this case, the governor of Kansas is moving to set a minimum age for minors to marry.